Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to the Friday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Evan O'Regan. Let's get started on this Friday evening. And what is that big glowing thing in the sky there? Oh, that's the sun. We haven't seen that in a few days, but it's been a beautiful day today. It's perfectly clear, not a cloud in the sky. Currently 73 degrees over Doak Campbell Stadium with that refreshing northwesterly breeze at 13 miles an hour. Temperatures are still pretty mild for this time of the day, generally staying in the lower 70s and upper 60s up here in southern Georgia, and also down by the coast, 67 in Apalachicola. On the muggy meter, plenty of smiley faces around Florida today, and why not? It's Friday, and it's also not humid. We have plenty of dry air after that cold front has moved through, so get out there and enjoy yourself this weekend because it's going to be gorgeous. As for tonight in Tallahassee, a little bit chilly, maybe remind you of Christmas, maybe you'll have a little glass of eggnog, I won't judge, but down to 47 tonight with a westerly breeze at 3 miles an hour and perfectly clear. Sunny weekend ahead for Tallahassee. We may have some record low temperatures in the northeast early next week. Temperatures could be in the upper teens there, and another round of severe weather possible next week in the southeast. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Hi, and welcome into FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Ariana Wittick.
I'm student meteorologist Jason Corver.
And what a sunny day it has been in Tallahassee. Quite a shift from the rainy weather, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's extremely sunny. This past week, my dog did not want to go outside at all, so today was a nice, refreshing day for her and very stress-free for her.
I don't blame you. The sunny weather is going to continue into the weekend. We might even get out to the beach. It's going to be a great weekend for that.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to it. Not like this past week. It was very muggy and disgusting outside, but nice weather for this weekend.
That is right. And maybe you could even enjoy a glass of eggnog when those cool temperatures move in throughout the night.
Well, I'm not going to have some eggnog, but maybe you should. But
you're right. I don't think it's that cold to have it. So we might get some potential severe weather working into the Midwest this week.
Yeah, it's looking kind of scary, but.
So we're going to pass it off to the wall with Rebecca for our local.
Thank you, guys. We're going to take a look at our local before we focus on some of those bigger picture things that are going to be impacting us. Right now for our temperature almanac, we were right around that average at 76. Wonderful outside today, barely a cloud in the sky. Not too far off that average for the low, a little bit cooler, 45. Thankfully, nowhere near those records as we were not close to 89 and thankfully nowhere close to 26 degrees. For our live look at Doak Campbell Stadium, as Evan has already mentioned, we have the sun in the sky for the first time in several days. I know I love to see it. That 73 degrees is also a wonderful indicator that I love to see for a wonderful day. For our current radar, things are clear, not a cloud in the sky. I think they finally pushed off. There was a few lingering fair weather cumulus clouds, but everything seems to be clear now, and things are going to remain so for the remainder of the weekend. Current local temperatures are sitting at high 60s to low 70s, cooling off down towards the coast at 67 in Apalachicola. We're sitting at 72 in Tallahassee, 72 in Monticello, 69 in Thomasville. A wonderful evening to go out. If you have any evening plans, that sun, of course, is staying out just a little bit later now since we've passed daylight savings, or spring forward last weekend. It's having a great time to go outside. So those wind speeds are nice and a little bit breezy. However, it is refreshing. That sun coming down with no clouds to shade it is a little bit intense. So those wind speeds are helping to cool us off a little bit. That's coming from the northwest, so a little bit breezy, 18 in Tallahassee, 12 in Thomasville, and pretty high down there in Apalachicola at 17. For our dew points, you'll be happy to see that those remain low after that front pushed its way through. Those dew points dropped significantly. We are extremely dry in Tallahassee, and that's what's fueling some of this beautiful weather that we've been having recently. That's going to remain so throughout the weekend. We're looking at 37 in Tallahassee, pretty dry, a little bit more moist as we push further east, but nothing too significant. 45 in Perry, 40 in Valdosta. For our future radar, everything's pushing its way to the east and not bringing any significant weather for the remainder of the weekend. We're having some pretty beautiful conditions for this weekend, so it's a great time if you're thinking about going to the beach. It's not quite warm enough, but we're going to enjoy these as we move into the week where we might have some more rain and severe weather threats moving on. We are going to hand things off to Ariana now, and she's going to give us a look at the national.
That is right. We are going to look at the national and look at the satellite and radar. As you can see the cold front that has pushed through the region and has moved off out towards our east and into the Atlantic, bringing sunnier conditions. In the northeast, there's going to be some chance for snow, so maybe bring the eggnog. Out in the west, it is nice and clear with sunny conditions and dry temperatures. A closer look at the Pacific Northwest, you see some scattered showers in Seattle region, but other than that, it is mostly dry throughout the region. In the Midwest, you do see those snow showers working into Minneapolis and those rain showers as we work a little more southern into Chicago. So might be a good time to have your rain gear on and maybe your snow gear out, because you know what? It is not winter even though it is March. In the Northeast, we are going to see rain continue coming off the Great Lakes working into New York, and then we have some rain and snow mix up into Canada. Closer to home in the southeast, as you can see, that high pressure system is keeping things dry and rain-free, which is a sharp contrast from what we have seen these past couple days with the severe weather and wet conditions. Our wind directions are scattered throughout the area with, you see a strong northerly wind in the southeast because of that cold front that is pushed through and dried out the air. Looking at the big picture, we are going to see warmer temperatures in the southwest region, and you're going to see nice cool blue temperatures in the northeast, which is going to make it nice for some eggnog to possibly have this weekend. The lows compared to average, as you can see, that blue kind of correlates to the map with the lows being a lot colder in the Midwest and even dipping down into Tennessee. Out in the west, though, it is going to be hot, so it is going to be about 20 degrees higher than average in certain areas. Dew points, with the cold front moving through the region, you can see things have dried out here in the southeast, and things are still dry back out west, which is not the best because it is making for some horrible drought conditions. In the water vapor, you can see that dry air that has pushed through the region, and we do have some wetter weather up in the Pacific Northwest as normal with those scattered showers. The drought monitor, as you can see, it is completely dry and pretty warm out in the southwest. It correlates with the water vapor and the dew points being so dry out there. So hopefully we can get some more rain into the area. Our Euro rainfall. In the next couple days going through Tuesday, we're going to see the northeast have some significant rainfall up to 1.5 inches, and it is going to make for conditions a little bit wet. So as we get into the early beginning of the week, you should be prepared to have a rain jacket out. Watches and warnings, you have our fire weather watch and fire weather warnings out right now. Tonight's temperatures, it is going to be nice and cool throughout most of the country with drier conditions, although up in the Midwest, it is going to be rainy. For tomorrow's highs, it is going to be a nice dip towards average in the southeast. Temperatures are going to be hotter in the west, and it is going to be a cooler day in the Midwest and the northeast. We are going to pass it off for a closer look at the southeast with Jason.
Thanks, Ariana. Yeah, so the southeast really shows much warmer temperatures than the rest of the country. With right now, you can see Gainesville 72 degrees, but Atlanta it's going to be 57. With Kentucky, it's going to be 50. So very, very nice temperatures, unlike the very north where they're getting like winter time temperatures. But pretty clear day for most of the southeast, other than some clouds up in Tennessee and Kentucky, but pretty clear. And with Raleigh, you can see those clouds moving in to North Carolina, and so pretty cloudy with some scattered rain showers coming in to the North Carolina. But for Florida, you see the cold front that just passed right here. And now we have the nice dry day, so perfect to go out and do everything you wanted to do this entire week, because it's from this cold front. It's been very muggy all week. But you can see the rainfall going through this entire weekend. It's not, for the southeast, mostly dry throughout the entire 5 days, but in the northern southeast, you can see you're getting just a little bit of rain, not too much, but it's going to be nice. So for the wind speed, it's very, very strong wind speeds, unlike usual, just from after the cold front, so that's what we usually expect. So 18 in Tallahassee right now, but Little Rock has 7, and Orlando has 16. And then the current temperatures, usually for this time, 81 for Miami, blistering hot, and around the same for the rest of the southeast. But like New Orleans has 76, and Little Rock has 70. But for Atlanta, it's a lot less cool. It's a lot cooler than Miami, so it's 63 there. Dew points very dry as a cold front passed, so very nice. But the lower the dew point, the nicer it is outside. So you guys want those low dew points. As you can see, not much moisture in the atmosphere with the water vapor. We're still having some clouds and everything, but not as much as it was this entire week. For the future radar, it's still pretty clear. We're going to be getting some clouds in the Tennessee area, but other than that, it's going to be pretty nice. And for tonight's lows, it's going to be around the same for the entire southeast. But for Florida, it's going to be a little more warmer. And for tomorrow, very hot day. So make sure you guys dress appropriately. And now I'm going to turn it to Aaron.
Thanks, Jason. I mean, coming back to the Sunshine State, it has been a very great day to go outside and do many fun activities outdoors. And courtesy of the sun right there blooming out in the sky. And really tonight looks like will be a pretty good night for some eggnog perhaps while the temperatures cool down. But across the Sunshine State, we do see those clouds moving offshore there in Miami, and they'll be continuing offshore towards the Bahamas right now with a little bit of rain as far as the radar can go. But it'll be arcing off to the north and no longer bothering us, at least especially up here in the Big Bend. But looks like a little bit of a stream of clouds right here near Tampa, but those are probably some altos cirrus clouds up in the sky. As for our satellite and radar across the Panhandle right now, it is very dry. It is actually just say it's not humid outside. So again, not even a cloud in the sky. So it's very lovely to go outside across the area. As for our friends in Central and South Florida, those are those clouds again, maybe perhaps just south of Miami. So places like in Key West, or towards Isla Morada and over towards Biscayne Bay might see a few upper level clouds, but all those should be pushing off, especially as we get into the overnight hours. As for our current temperatures across the state, it is currently in the 70s, the low to mid 70s across the I-10 corridor. As you make your way further to the south, about south of I-4 there in Tampa, it is 76 over towards Orlando, same temperature as well. And then down towards South Florida, we are staying in the mid to upper 70s, and actually even touching 80 there in Fort Myers there. So still a pretty warm day, but not a humid day. And here's the muggy meter across the state. Sunshines for smiley faces for across the state here for the Sunshine State, really across the entire peninsula. And something you don't see often as well is that green is not there, at least across Miami area. As for our future radar, we'll see those clouds pushing off, making way for a very beautiful Saturday, even into Sunday. So this weekend is probably one of the best weekends to go out there, especially probably as we're approaching the summertime, and we'll see those summertime thunderstorms possibly coming as soon as probably within the next month or two, but we'll see how that plays out soon. But yeah, I mean, really great weekend across the area, across I-10 and down towards the peninsula. Tonight in Florida, 46 degrees up in Tallahassee, so a very chill night. Again, great night for eggnog perhaps. And then down towards Miami, might even be a little bit cooler, at least for Miami, 58 degrees, but again, if you do like that eggnog, then it'll be the great night to do that. As for Miami here, rain chances are going to stay pretty low, I mean, in the single digits, but temperatures will be in the 80s across the board here in Miami, so very warm but not humid in terms of, at least in terms of how it feels outside. Out for our friends in Tampa, it will be mid to upper 70s, even approaching 80 there as we get into Monday. And if you're heading out to Disney World or any of the theme parks here in Orlando, make sure you do stay hydrated because it will be in the 70s and 80s. But luckily won't be as hot and oppressive. And for our friends in Jacksonville, again, we will see those temperatures primarily remaining in the 70s and 80s. But, of course, as we do go into the rest of the weekend, into next week, we actually do have the threat of severe weather across Florida as well as we get into possibly later next week. But we'll have to watch what the models come up with, but certainly something to watch out.
Absolutely. It looks like right now we're looking at a threat for us here in Tallahassee locally on Thursday. So we're unsure if that could bring some severe weather or lots of rain, which could increase flood hazards. But that is definitely something we're going to keep our eye on. I think where the biggest threat is located is further west of us, though. We're looking at Texas, Oklahoma, and then, of course, where that severe weather went through just this week in Louisiana and Alabama, where they've already been impacted so heavily.
That's right. And for our friends again in Texas, you might have to watch out for more severe weather. Computer models have at least been trending back a touch, at least for any type of severe weather here, at least here in Florida. But again, as really mentioned before, you really need to watch just in case, because even just flash flooding can be very dangerous across even our area too.
Absolutely. So that's what we're watching right now. This system is going to develop off the coast of California. It's going to be pushing through, building up, and it looks like it might have most of its power when it reaches Texas, particularly the northern part of Texas. So some of those places that also saw storms, we're looking at Fort Worth, Dallas, pushing its way across Houston, and then as it leaves Texas, moving into Louisiana and across all the way to us potentially in the Panhandle.
That's right. And again, with our friends up in the Central Plains and over towards the southeast, we're only beginning the severe weather season here in the spring, but that will continue up until about May or June as we get into the summer season. And of course, that is also when it's favorable for tornadoes. And as we saw last week with tornadoes in New Orleans and over towards Austin, I mean, there are certainly a lot of tornadoes you got to watch out for as well.
Absolutely. So that's what we're going to be looking for as we progress into this coming week. Of course, we're worried about us here locally, but we're also going to monitor as it moves across if it's going to remain severe or if it might lose some of that potential as it goes overnight and whatnot. We're going to hand things over to Evan now, and he's going to give us a look at some of the weather alerts we got going on.
That's right.
That's right. Thanks, guys. So as I get the clicker here, here we go. So we don't have any severe weather right now, but we do have some winter weather to talk about. I know you might be saying, it's spring, I'm sick of this winter weather, but it's still March, you can still get that snow this time of the year. We do have active winter weather advisories right now. That's for places in the Northeast and also in the Midwest and the Great Lakes regions where they could get a few inches of snow through the weekend. We also have red flag warnings and fire weather watches for places in the Dakotas and also in the Southeast where they're dealing with some drought, high winds, and dry conditions. We have some wind advisories and flood warnings as well to talk about. So first I'll cover here in these purple areas here in Michigan and also into West Virginia and just it looks like the panhandle of Maryland and into southern Pennsylvania as well. That's where we have those winter weather advisories where places could pick up a couple inches of snow. Nothing too crazy, but with that March sun angle this time of the year, that should help melt that snow pretty quickly so it won't stay there for that long, so it won't be persistent as you could see in winter weather months. Here it is on the satellite and radar. There's that snow for places like Minneapolis right now and also into Michigan as well. Right now it's raining in Michigan, but that'll start to work its way towards the south and east and bring that colder air with it that will support that snowfall. Same deal for the Appalachian Mountains here in West Virginia as well. As for snowfall amounts, nothing too crazy. Generally less than an inch to an inch. Some places could see up here in northern Michigan, maybe 1 to 3 inches. Same thing here in higher elevations in West Virginia. So again, nothing too crazy. So that March sun angle would really work its magic and not have that snowfall stick too much. We also have the Northeast seeing possibly some record-breaking low temperatures for early next week. Places in upper New York, in upstate New York, and also interior New England could see low temperatures Monday morning as low as maybe lower 20s and upper teens, maybe even low teens in extreme cases in higher elevations. So make sure you break out those winter jackets, hopefully one last time. As for watches and warnings right now, here in South Dakota and also into Nebraska, we have that fire weather warning. That's for that risk of wildfires this weekend and also with those drier conditions there. Same thing, we have that fire weather watch for the Southeast where we're also dealing with the drought. And as we expand here, that drought monitor, hopefully this rainfall will help to clear out those drought conditions by the time we get to next week. You can see it start to fill in there with that next system. And now I'm going to pass things off to Jason with a look at sports.
Thanks. So baseball tonight at Duke. It's going to be ACC rival game, so make sure you guys watch. It's going to be a great game. We've been doing pretty good. 68 at game time, so perfect for baseball. But for women's golf, it's going to be 43 degrees, which is cold for golf in South Carolina. Hopefully they do well versus Clemson. Beach volleyball in Tampa, probably going to be very nice throughout the day at 10 a.m. So 57, not what they're used to seeing when playing beach volleyball, but I'm sure we're going to do very well. Men's tennis at versus Tennessee Tech with 62 degrees at 11 o'clock. So very nice for playing tennis. All these sports are going to be very nice. Not too hot, not too cold, but softball probably the hottest in Miami, 75 degrees. We've been doing extremely well, so hopefully we win all of our games. But yeah, I'm going to send it to Becca for the next segment.
I'm also hoping for Knowles wins for the rest of these games. I know I'm going to the baseball game tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can go with my family who's coming to town and we can get a Knowles win. We haven't been as successful when I've gone with my family in the past. We're going to take one more look at our local. Again, that temperature almanac. Thankfully, we're right near that average. I love to see these higher temps. So 76 for the average. We are at 74. Nowhere near that low of 26. However, we were quite cool this morning as that cold front has passed through and is lowering those lower morning temperatures. Definitely want a jacket when you're leaving early in the morning. 73 degrees currently, beautiful sky, not a cloud there. We're getting a nice sunset, and of course it's setting a little bit later each day now that we've sprung forward. We get that 1 extra hour of daylight. Our current radar is beautiful. This is what I love to see. There is nothing there. If you're noticing this bit of green here, that's not rain, don't fret, just a little bit of backscatter that's coming back to the radar. So no clouds and no rain for the foreseeable future. For our current local temps, things are starting to cool off just a little bit, but definitely nowhere near cold. This is still comfortable in my opinion. So we're looking at 71 in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler as we move a little bit further north, 68 in Donaldsonville, 66 in Thomasville, and as we move towards the coast, 67 in Apalachicola. For our muggy meter, might be my favorite graphic of the whole night. We're looking at smiles all across the state of Florida, from Pensacola all the way down to Key West, as that cold front has moved through and we are being flushed with dry air, giving us wonderful dry conditions to enjoy this beautiful sunny weather that we've been having. Tonight's forecast, it is going to dip a little bit cooler than we're used to. As I was saying, that cold front's dropping those low temperatures. Don't worry, we'll warm back up by next week. But for right now, we're looking at 49 Tallahassee, a little bit warmer up in Bainbridge, 50 degrees, and then as we go towards the coast, again, a little bit warmer, 52 in Carabel and 53 in Apalachicola. For our beach forecast, unfortunately, it's just not quite warm enough yet to enjoy the beach. It might be nice if you don't go in the water, 70 degrees, that UV exit is going to be at a 9, but the water is still a brisk 66 degrees if you would like to go in. Tonight in Tally, we're looking at 47, clear with light winds out of the west at 3 miles per hour, 47 degrees. The future radar, again, everything is clear on this radar. And for the week ahead, we are looking at beautiful temperatures and clear skies until we get to Thursday, where that severe weather chance starts to pick up. What do you think about that, Aaron? Wonderful weekend?
Yeah, it looks like eggnog weather to go throughout much of the week. They're in the 40s and 50s there across our area. But as we do one last look at our radar, we do see not much in the way of precipitation. We do see a little bit of backscattering there on the Tallahassee radar at the airport, but not much. But if you're heading out to College Town tonight, it'll be a nice 48 degrees and under clear skies. So beautiful night to go outside. Might need a light jacket as well when you do head out the door with a light breeze from the west-northwest at 5 miles per hour. But our stargazing forecast is also going to be great with no clouds in the sky. It's going to make for a great sky as well to perhaps take the telescope out as well. As for our airport delays, we will see possibly nothing, I should say. Really, 73 degrees right now currently at the airport, so we don't expect any delays, of course, across the area. And if you're heading out to one of our other cities across the nation, we will see possibly some cooler weather in places like JFK in New York, but that's pretty typical, at least for New York, being cooler than here. No delays are expected as well. As for our Tallahassee History and Festival and Expo, there in downtown Tallahassee, it'll be 73 degrees on Saturday and sunny conditions, so very nice day out to be outside and all that, of course. And for our HSA painting event on Sunday, it'll also be 73 degrees under sunny skies. So really both weekend days are going to be almost the same, but of course. And once you're done, of course, with maybe that morning eggnog, of course, you might see those temperatures warming up into the 40s and 50s and 60s. Of course, we get into the midnight, or not midnight, the noon hour of that beautiful day tomorrow. So our future radar does show those winds are going to stay fairly light out of the north as they do turn eventually off to the northeast as we do have the turning of the wind. But of course, for a weekend planner outdoor in Tallahassee, it'll be very nice. So make sure again you do look for that eggnog before you head out the door.
And nice throughout the weekend it will be. Looking at our watches and warnings one last time, we do have drier conditions in the Great Plains of South Dakota and Nebraska with a fire weather warning, and a watch in Texas and then the southeast as we have dried out after the rain. Current radar right now, it is pretty clear throughout most of the United States. We do have those few snow and rain showers up in the northeast and in the Michigan area. Our drought monitor, it is quite dry over in the western region as from the lack of snowfall that they have received. However, closer to home, it is a bit closer to average for our drought. Tonight's temperatures in Tallahassee, it is going to be a cool night, so maybe grab a light jacket. Most temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s, lower 50s throughout the region with 49 in Tallahassee tonight. Our future radar, it is going to be a great weekend for the beach because we are going to have clear skies throughout the weekend. And those clear skies are going to persist, so maybe we can take our pet to the beach. I don't own a horse, however, I do have a dog. Temperatures are going to be great for walking your pet at the beach. Our weekend planner, it is going to be sunny, sunny, sunny throughout the weekend with temperatures in the lower 70s. We are going to pass it back over to Evan at the desk.
That's right. Thanks, Ariana. So we have a great weekend coming up this weekend. Gorgeous weather in the forecast, lower 70s and beautiful sunshine, low humidity, so it looks like a great weekend there. We'll also have that severe weather next week that could potentially come into Tallahassee. We'll have to keep an eye on that, so stay with us on FSU weather. And we also have those potentially record-setting cold temperatures in the Northeast. I know everyone's talking about eggnog this show, so I really think that's the best kind of weather to have when you have that cold temperatures, nice glass of eggnog in front of the fireplace, just like just like picturesque, I gotta say. And I think like, the best kind of eggnog, in my opinion, is that golden eggnog from Hood. That's the best kind. So make sure you get yourself a carton of that for this weekend if you're in the Northeast in preparation for that colder weather. But like I said, you may not even have to have that eggnog in the Northeast. You can have it anywhere in the country, even in the northern tier of the country. I saw temperatures could be in the teens tonight, so maybe a glass of eggnog there as well. So make sure you give us a follow on Twitter at twitter.com/FSUweather. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSUweather, and you can also watch us live on YouTube or any of our archives on youtube.com/FSUweather, and you can also follow us on Instagram at FSUweather. We always like to see those nice weather pictures that you have to send us, so make sure you guys give us a follow on all those platforms. So that's what we have for this Friday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Evan Regan, and have a great weekend.